So, this morning's practice is all about the nooks and crannies of the body. So, getting into these kind of untouched corners in the upper body, mid body, lower body. So, with day to day activities, we don't always tap into these far reaches of our body. So, this practice is all about just opening up those corners and just re energizing, rejuvenating from the inside out. If you have a towel or a blanket, you can open it up and just give it a nice roll. And then you're going to go long on your mat. So ideally, you're going to sit just at the base of whatever you've rolled up. And then you're going to track the length of the spine over that. So all the way down, just so you feel cushioned just underneath your spinal column, through the back of the neck and the head. And if your head's not on it, you can adjust it so the head stays on it. So you just want to think just a nice straight line through the spine. I naturally put the soles of the feet together. Give yourself an opportunity to spread out so you get nice and spacious. Close the eyes, relax the jaw. And we'll just go about 10 breaths here, just opening into the body. And if you found you're hunching over a desk the majority of the week, just let this be an opportunity to peel the shoulder blades back. Begin to breathe deeper into the lungs. You feel an expansion of the back body in and around the shoulder blades. Noticing where your breath settles as you exhale. Noticing the expansion around the in-breath. So where you feel it, which corners of the body can you expand into? Which corners of the body do you reach naturally, just with a natural breath in and out? And feel the heaviness to the back of the head and the heaviness to the shoulders on either side of your prop. A heaviness to the lower back. If you feel a lift or an arch in that lower back, you can always press into the heels or the outer edges of the feet, lift the hips slightly, reach the tailbone longer and longer, and then release the lower back down into the mat. So you feel that imprint of the sacrum, that little heart-shaped bone above your tailbone. Feel free to set an intention for these last few breaths, an intention that can transition into your practice. Maybe it's just a focus on reaching some deeper layers of your physical body, and in turn, reaching some deeper layers of your metaphysical body. A feeling of presence, of re-energizing, just a return to center. The last couple breaths here. Big inhale to expand. And go ahead and open the mouth, exhale. Slide one foot away from the body, slide the other so the legs become extended. Hook the thumbs, reach the arms up and overhead so you just get length through the entirety of the body from fingers to the toes you reach. And keep that extension, maybe wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, and get into those little nooks and crannies. Some side to side movement, just feeling into what feels good in the body as you massage into the trapezius muscles on the shoulders, the muscles on either side of the spine. Good. Sweep the arms around. Just come up halfway. Remove the towel from behind the body and just kind of give it a shift to the side. Come back onto the back body, so then you notice the difference without the prop. So the shoulder blades resting. You have a flattening of that mid back between the shoulders, the mid back, the lower back. And again, if you feel that kind of arching in the lower back, you can step one foot down, just reach the tailbone long. So you feel as though you're kind of pancaking the back body into the floor. Just a full release. Let that connect you to the earth. And then once again, hook the thumbs, this time opposite thumb on top, extend through the fingertips, reach through the toes. And then the same thing, just a fluttering of the fingers, move them around, wiggle the toes, shift from side to side. And it can be very subtle, so very gentle from side to side. Maybe reach one heel away, reach the other heel. Big inhale. And then exhale. Go ahead and bring the arms alongside the body. Bring the soles of the feet down. And you can reach the arms, palms down, and then as though you could kind of graze the heels of the feet. Palms pressed down. On your next in-breath, the hips are going to lift up. And you find your full range of motion, maybe lift a little higher. Exhale, lower the hips down. Inhale as you lift the hips once again. Just getting into the back body, the back of the thighs. Exhale as you lower. Just connecting breath and movement. This time, inhale, hips are going to lift, arms are going to reach up and overhead. Back of the hands will find the floor. And then exhale, arms come down, hips come down. You can close the eyes. We'll just move 4 more times. Inhale, arms reach up, hips lift up. Exhale, arms go down, hips go down. Feel that release of the lower back into the floor. 2 more. Inhale as you lift up. Really reach the thighs towards the ceiling, the inner thighs in together. Reach the tailbone long, and then exhale as you lower. Full exhalation. And then 1 more breath in. Feel the full lift. Hold the breath for a moment. Lift a little higher. Exhale as you lower the hips. Empty the breath. Exhale. Hug the knees in. Get to the bottom of the breath, hug the knees in a little bit tighter. So it's like you're really pushing all of the oxygen out of those 2 sponges called your lungs. Inhale, knees are going to move away from the body. You can still hold them with the hands. Full breath in, and then exhale, hug the thighs in towards the chest. Feel the lift of the tailbone, full exhalation out. Inhale, thighs move away. Keep a hold with the hands. Expand the lungs, and then exhale. Thighs hold in. Breathe that full breath out. Feel the lift of the tailbone, a squeezing of the inner belly. Good. Inhale, natural breath. Cross the ankles, grab behind the thighs, and begin to rock just the length of the spine up as though you're going to go into a seat. Exhale as you roll back. Inhale up. Exhale back. And just getting into the back body, into the shoulders, making it a little fun. And then 1 more time. And then exhale. Coming up, you're going to find a seat so you can face towards me. So natural cross-legged is a little bit wider, but we want to go in close together. So imagine you're reaching the knees in, lining up the ankles with the inner knees here. Press at the hips, lift the hips so they're not on the floor, and then the hips will draw back. So shin bones should be parallel to the front of your mat. Yeah. So you can so if you feel like you're kind of here, bring the heels towards the outsides. Yeah. And then you'll come with the knees closer together towards like where your hips are, knees are, and then the feet are a little bit wider. Yes, perfect. Okay, inhale, reach the arms up, hook the thumbs, take that stretch, feel the pressing down of the sits bones into the floor. Stretch up with the fingertips, and then you're going to hinge the hips forward, torso over the thighs, reach. When you can't go any further, 1 forearm to the inner thigh, other forearm to the other thigh, palms of the hands pressed together. Draw the shoulders out of the ears. Give a little shake of the head from side to side. And then you'll just feel the outer knees sinking towards the floor. Keep flexing the feet because that just protects the tissues around the kneecaps. Notice if the shoulders start to creep up to the ears, and just keep the shoulder blades down the back. Breathe deep into the belly. Close the eyes, relax the jaw. We'll go about 8 more breaths here. And then notice where in the creases of the body, so not the external, the fascia that's kind of underneath that layer of skin, but even deeper than that, so that connective tissue that's where your joints are connecting. So really just the depths of your body. Notice what sensations are kind of around those creases of the body. And then you want to breathe into it and create some softness. Inhale, lifting up. So left foot's going to come closer to the body. Right foot's going to step to the outside of that left thigh for Marichyasana. Yeah, so if the legs are crossed, you can switch them. So left foot closer to the body, both sits bones down. So you might find a tendency to tilt to one side. See if you can really root both sits bones down. Right hand will come to the base of the spine. Left arm's going to reach out. Big breath in. And then you can reach the arm around to that right thigh, hug in, and then take a twist around. So just a gentle twist to fill into the outer right hip, right IT band, and then allow yourself to transition into that mid back, upper back, and just the twist of the spine. Breathe deep into the belly. So I started on the twist to the right side just for the ascending colon. So that's the entry point of your colon. And then it kind of wraps underneath the lower floating ribs. And then down that left-hand side is the descending. So just starting at the entry point, just to wring out and rinse. And find some softening so you can feel into where you can dial into the kind of nook of this pose, the untouched regions. One more breath. As you exhale, unwind, so taking it towards the foot of that right leg, both palms pressed down, and square the chest out over the mat so you feel kind of a release out of that right shoulder, a rinsing into the spine, and then slowly you're going to step back, high plank, high push-up. Outer edge of the right foot, inside of that left foot will fall to the mat. And then take it to the other side, outer edge of that left foot, inside of that right foot. And a couple more just from side to side for a lift of the belly. And then back to neutral, slide forward and then lower all the way to the belly. Fingertips are going to reach out on either side of your mat, palms pressed down, palms lift up, fingertips pressed down. And then inhale, just lifting the torso. So more than the back bend here, it's just the maneuvering into different muscle groups of that back body. Maybe it's a movement of the head. You can check out one foot and then the other. Maybe look up. So see where you can tap into that maybe is outside of your normal movements of your body throughout your day. Exhale, lower down, and then maybe the fingertips come closer to the body or farther away. We'll play with a couple different. So if the fingertips are coming closer, see if you can reach the belly button forward, maneuver the shoulders a little bit, wobble them out, and then maybe take it back to your belly, reach the fingertips more forward. So less of a back bend and then more exploration into the shoulders, the muscles around the shoulder. So not just the trapezius, it's the outer layer, but the rhombus. So that's the deeper layer of muscle around the shoulder blades. And then maybe a look from one side and to the other. And the head can drop down, and then maybe it's a look up. So just tapping into a lot of uncharted waters of the body. Exhale as you lower down. Right arm's going to reach out. Right cheek is going to lower to your mat. So it's going to look a bit like this. So left fingertips are going to come under that left shoulder. Right hand's going to reach out. And then you're going to roll open towards the right side. So right arm out, left fingertips down, and then roll into the outer edge of that right hip. Right palm stay down. So it's a shoulder opener for that right deltoid. And then if you want, you can step that left foot to the outside of the right thigh. Left elbow can draw back, so the left shoulder really kind of sinks on top of the right shoulder blade. If you're good here, maybe the left hand lifts and you just let it sink right behind the back body. Let the head, the neck be relaxed so the head's heavy onto the floor. You can peel that left knee open. So you're just finding what's comfortable here. Might be slightly uncomfortable, but not painful. A couple breaths. And then slowly transitioning out the way you came in. So left arm will lift, left hand underneath the left shoulder, left leg stacks onto the right leg, slowly roll to the belly. Left arm's going to extend out, so we'll just take it immediately to the other side. Gazes towards that right hand moves underneath the right shoulder, and then slowly just peeling the body up. Right side will land onto the left side, right foot can bend, step it behind that left leg, and then the knee can peel open. Right fingertips press down, right shoulder pulls back so that elbow kind of tracks the shoulder, or you can bring that right hand up and then right hand behind the lower back. And just let it hang there so it's not active in any way. And you're just using the weight of your body to just create some spaciousness in the shoulder, in little parts of the back body that goes a little bit more untouched. And especially as we get older, the deltoids get slightly shorter. So always stretching into the deltoids just to keep the shoulders drawing back and down instead of the hunch forward. And soften into the pose, one more breath. Again, and coming out the way you came in, right arm up. Right hand underneath the right shoulder, right leg layers on top of that left leg. Slowly roll into the belly. Arms this time will come alongside the body. Palms will press down. Toes will root down, thighs will root down. And then with the breath, you'll lift the upper body. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Maybe the palms stay down or they begin to lift up. And you feel like you're activating into all these tiny little muscle fibers in the back body and then strengthening the length of the spine. Exhale, lowers you. Inhale, lifts. Draw the pinkies in, lift the upper back, and you're lifting with the back body, with the muscles on either side of the spine. Exhale as you lower. Inhale, lift. Soften the glutes, engage the back. Exhale, lower. And then one more time. Inhale, lift. Soften the gaze. Feel that activation. Lift a little bit higher. And then exhale, lower. Hands underneath the shoulders. Curl the toes under, plank. Exhale, down dog. And paddle it out. Feel the stretches into the calves, into the tissue behind the kneecaps, the outer hips. And ripple forward as you inhale. Exhale is that press back into down dog. This time, Inhale, forward, the ripple, the knees lower down. Toes can stay curled under. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Hook the thumbs, stretch from side to side. So sending the reach out over that right side and then to the left side. Just awakening into the side body, the muscles that cover the ribs, and then looking back. Release the hands, hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. If there's any discomfort in the knees, you can always throw that towel or a blanket underneath. Interlace the fingers, feel the knuckles lift away from the body. You can shake this out from side to side. And release the hands. Inhale, take the arms back up. Hook the thumbs, the opposite thumb in front. Take the stretch to the left and to the right. Good. Releasing hands behind the back, one finger over, just a quick breath here. Once again, tapping into the deltoids in the chest. And explore how can you reach a far off little nook and cranny here. Exhale, shake out the hands, release. So coming back into that seat. So this time, opposite leg in front. Draw the knees in. Flex the ankles, sits bones, roots down. Inhale, reach up, hook the thumbs. Big breath, so anchor into your seat and then tilt forward. So as though you're kind of closing that hinge of the door. Reaching, reaching, reaching. And then when you're ready, release the forearms to the inner thighs. Shake out the head and the neck. And this is a place you can pause and breathe just about 10 rounds of breath. If you like to maneuver the head from side to side. Little circles might feel good, or shake of the head yes and no. Notice what it feels like if you sink into the shoulders, and then if you pull the shoulders back. Let there be a surrender to the legs, so just a heaviness to the floor. And feel that gentle pulling apart of the connective tissue where the legs meet the torso. And the body loves that sort of kind of pulling. And then just a way to re-energize from the inside out. The mind starts to wander into the day, draw back into the breath, or maybe your intention. Inhale brings you upright. Right heel's going to come close to your seat. Left foot's going to step to the outside of that right thigh, so Marichyasana. Both sits bones root down. Left hand to the base of the spine, right arm lifts up. You can take the arm forward and then just gently into a twist to that left side, so the descending colon side. Left shoulder blade draws back. Gaze can be out over that left shoulder. And then feel the rinsing out as you exhale, like really rinse into the inner body. So those inner organs, the intestines, the colon. And slowly unwinding. You're going to walk towards the right side of your mat. Palms are going to press. You're going to square the shoulders so you feel that release on that left back body. And then slowly transitioning into a high plank. Roll forward, lower to the belly. Uncurl the toes. This time we'll take it into bow pose. So you're welcome to keep in with locust if you're feeling any discomfort in the back body. Otherwise, you can bend the knees, grab for the outer ankles, flex the feet. Your in-breath is going to lift the body. Heels are going to draw towards the ceiling. Shin bones are going to draw away from the head. Exhale, lowers you slightly. Inhale as you lift, lift, lift. So you feel the broadening in the heart space. Maybe the gaze is forward, maybe it's up, whatever's comfortable in the neck. Exhale, lowers you halfway. And then one more, just the full range, full reach of your body. Lift, 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 extend, extend, extend. And then exhale, lowers you down. Palms of the hands underneath the shoulders, curl the toes. Inhale, plank. Roll to the outer edge of that right foot, inner edge of the left. Left arm's gonna lift up for a modified side plank. Good, and then maybe the arm tracks forward, circles around, maybe one way and then the other way. And then slowly left hand down, you'll roll to the other side. Stagger the feet to modify, right arm lifts up. You sweep the arm forward, maybe a couple of circles, just massaging into the connective tissue of that shoulder blade and deltoid. And rotator cuff. Right hand down, shift forward. You can lower the knees or full chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, cobra or baby cobra. Exhale, sends it back, down dog. Bend one knee and then the other. Right leg lifts, big inhale. Exhale, step the right foot forward. Outer edge of that left foot on the mat, toes point slightly forward. Inhale to warrior one. So you begin to awaken the femur of that back leg. Dial that left hip forward and sink a little bit lower into it. So just activating into little muscle fibers that maybe are less active during the week. Come into the ball of that back leg. Begin to stretch into that left hip flexor. Good, arms are gonna go alongside the body. Slowly transitioning the weight to that right foot, and then you'll come into warrior three. Little idea of a back bend in that upper back. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Right hand's gonna go down. Left hip is gonna stack onto that right hip. Left arm up. If you wanna bend that top leg, you can take it into a version of Triposana. So you begin to awaken into the quad. Maybe an idea of a back bend here. Slowly releasing. Left foot's gonna step behind the right foot, crisscross the legs. Inhale, halfway lengthens you up. Exhale, softens you back in. Breathe into the outer hips, namely that left hip. If you need a soft bend to the knee, you can always take that. Drape the torso, shake out the head and the neck. Good. Right foot's gonna stay where it is. Left foot's gonna step way, way back. Brace on either side of that right foot, and then you're gonna lower into pigeon. So that left foot's gonna move towards the left side of your mat. Right knee behind the right wrist. Inhale as you take a breath, stretching up. Exhale, coming down into pigeon. 5 rounds of breath here. So squaring the hips, breathing into that right outer hip, maybe the glute. Notice where you feel the most sensations. Maybe it's the inner work of the leg, maybe it's the outer. Maybe it's not the leg at all, but the hip. And soften the belly, release any intensity in the lower back or the shoulders. Inhale, lift the torso. Back leg is gonna sweep around. I'll do it facing you guys. Step the outer edge of the foot to the outside of that right thigh. So Marusyasana once again. So back leg reaches around, foot steps down, right heel is close towards the seat. Good. Right hand finds the base of the, left hand will find the base of the spine. Right arm lifts up. So you can take that hug twist that we did earlier, or you can reach even farther past the leg, hook the outside, and then really rinse it out. You also have the option to draw the arm through, hug and reach for the back arm, and find a bind. So you don't want to compromise the integrity of the pose by kind of wiggling into anything deeper, but if it's conducive with your body and that feels really good, it just gets you into some deeper corners of your body, some deeper muscle fibers and the bones. One more breath. Exhale, unwind, and take a little counter twist, and then slowly finding the palms of the hands, step it back, high plank, ripple forward, chaturanga, maybe you're calling, a strengthening back bend, and then exhalation finds you into your home base. Left leg lifts big, inhale. Exhale, left foot steps through. Outer edge of that right foot spins down. Brace yourself into the earth, and then inhale, warrior one. So this is just an opportunity to get into the outer right femur, maybe the calf, the back body, and then squaring the hips. So just awakens a different version of the muscles than what you would normally tap into day by day. Especially sitting, if you're sitting a great deal of the time. Good. Transitioning onto the ball of that back foot. Sink the hips lower. Breathe into that right hip flexor, right psoas. Maybe reach the tailbone so you feel like the frontal ribs are drawing back. And then slowly, arms come alongside the body. Power up into that left leg. Transition the weight forward. Right hip aligns with the left hip. Arms go alongside the body. Just a moment just to feel into your own balance. And it's okay if it shakes and quakes. It's just to be here now. The asana. Left hand goes down to the mat. Right hip stacks onto the left hip. Right hand lifts up. Option to stay here, just extending through the limbs, finding your reach. Or maybe you bend that back foot and grab, take it into a bit of a back bend or an extra quad opener, hip opener. Release when you're ready. Right foot will land behind the left foot. Adjust if you need to adjust center on your mat. Inhale, lengthens the heart away from the hips, stretches the upper hamstrings. Exhale, softens you in, gets into the inner belly. Shake the head yes and no. Really root the outer feet down, root the balls of the feet down, maybe lift the toes, give them a little wiggle. Reminding they're not weight bearing, they're just hanging out. Left foot stays down, right foot transitions back to the back end of the mat. Press the palms so you brace. Lift that left foot, take it to the side of your mat. Left knee behind the left wrist. Wiggle that right leg back and find pigeon. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to lower. Soften the gaze. So drishti, you can keep the eyes open and just find a soft focal point. Or close the eyes and just let that settle inwards. And then where in your body do you feel something that maybe you haven't felt just in your day-to-day activity? A release or maybe a resistance. The place of greatest resistance is where you find the greatest liberation. Or Rodney Yee. Really melt. Last few breaths. Inhale, rises you up. Back leg, transition the weight to the left side so that back leg can sweep around. Step the foot to the outside. Left hand braces the spine. Oh, sorry, right hand braces the spine. Left arm lifts up. Big breath. And then take your variation, whether you're hugging around to that right leg or finding a twist, or perhaps you reach the arm through and then find a little binding action in your Marichyasana. Feel yourself grounded into the earth, and then your expansion or compression that aids what your intention was for today. Let the corners of the mouth draw up, relaxing the gaze of the eyes. Slowly unwinding. Take the counter twist to the other side. Palms pressed down, high plank. Chaturanga if you're feeling it. Back bend to just reset. And then this time, lower the knees down, take a child's pose, or you can take a down dog and then a child's pose. An option for final Shavasana, you can do Shavasana laying on your belly, palm in palm, underneath your forehead. You can take it traditionally on your back, or you can just find a comfortable seat, whether it's on your shins and your heels or cross-legged. And we'll just a couple breaths, go maybe 10 breaths, so about a minute, just in that final Shavasana. You can also use a prop and give yourself some nice support. So finding a nice comfortable seat, closing the eyes, relaxing the shoulders. Just a few moments just to root down, elevate up, relax the shoulders, breathe into all of the nooks and crannies and crevices of your body that you just tapped into, and you're just breathing energetically into those places, just creating lightness and spaciousness and gratitude. Slowly bringing the palms together. You're welcome to stay as you are, just a longer Shavasana, or you can kind of end where we end here. I want to thank you for your time and your energy, your practice this morning. It's an honor to guide you through and to share in that time. Namaste.